I was an entrepreneur my whole life. I was a very bad student. I couldn't concentrate on things that I didn't think were important. And for me, I was always very self-aware that I was a good salesman, and I loved the action of selling stuff. I grew up in my dad's liquor store that he eventually owned in New Jersey, and I got involved full-time when I was 22 years old after university, and I grew my dad's business from a $3 to a $60 million business in a 5-year window. I want to take a step back. I want everybody to understand that the skill set that allowed me to build that business from 3 to 60 million in a short period of time, the skill set that allowed me to be an early investor in Twitter and Tumblr and an early investor in Uber, and all the things that are gonna make me extremely wealthy are interesting to me, because when I think of myself as a businessman, as a marketer, as an individual, I think that I stink at most things. I really struggle with most things. For the same reason I was a DNF student, there's a lot of things I can't do. But the one thing I can do, and the one thing that I would challenge this room to find out if they have that within themselves, or to surround themselves with that kind of individual, the one thing I'm great at is I know what you're gonna do before you're gonna do it. And so my entire career, all I've ever spent my time on is, where is the arbitrage where all of you think you should be spending your time and money on telling your story, and where's the grass greener because you just haven't figured it out? The reason I invested in Twitter in 2007 was because I believed that be a place where that was happening. The real reason I was able to build my wine business in such a quick fashion was because there's something called Google AdWords that came around in 1999. And while all my competitors thought that they had to buy ads in the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times, I owned the word wine on Google for 5 cents for 9 months before anybody bid me up. Then I did banner retargeting and cookied people when people still thought cookies was something you ate with milk, right? Then my career took a very different turn, because 4 months after YouTube came out, I started a wine show on YouTube, and I decided to educate the masses about wine, not sell them the wine, just review the wine. And I would even pan the wines that I was selling, because I knew that the age of content was upon us, and that I needed to be a content producer, not just a commerce executor. We are living through the single biggest culture shift in attention since the printing press. We are living through a second industrial revolution right in front of our eyes right now. I mean, how many people in this room are lucky enough to have a 12 to 20-year-old in their lives, child or grandchild? Please raise your hands, don't get lazy on me. Thank you. So all of you know that that individual lives here, I mean, if they could, they would do this. And that was it. That's just, forget robots, we're robots. I promise you. Forget buying a robot that serves you foods, we're robots. How many people in this room, in every 24-hour window, including when you're sleeping, are always within arm's reach of their telephone? Raise your hand. Hold on, please keep that up. I just want people in the front, because I don't think you get to see what I'm getting to see. Look around a little bit real quick. Oh, I don't know, everybody. And just to remind everybody in this crowd as I look around, this is not a high school-aged crowd. So what's happening is we're not understanding. We as business people, let me remind you, I love social media because it sells stuff. I don't think it's cool. I don't like technology. I want to sell something. I'm a businessman. I'm only doing this because your attention is there. You think, as a business person, that the behavior is the youth and not your actual customer. I know that it's actually you. I know that we're living through the youthification of our society. That if you think about yourself right now, and you think about your parent at your age right now, if you're lucky enough to have been around and have a parent that was your age that you are right now when you were a kid, and you think about them, you're acting much younger than the way they acted at your same age. We're living through a massive youthification. If you look at Instagram, how many people here by show of hands are on Instagram? Raise your hand. Solid number, very good. Let's clap it up, I'm very happy with that. That's for me. Good job, I'm impressed. If you look at Instagram, how many people here by show of hands are familiar with selfies? Everyone know what a selfie is? Great. The fastest growing demo on selfies on Instagram are 42 to 45-year-old females. That's right, cougar selfies. In the last 5 years, our attention has shifted so much to here and so much away from everywhere else where they're trying to sell you beer and cars. How many people here, when you watch television, fast forward every single commercial? Raise your hand. Everybody. Everybody. Yet, Bill, when he's up here, the CEO of SAP, yet Honda, yet every brand I work with spends tens of billions of dollars to tell you a story in a place where you will use technology to get away and you will never pay attention. And even if they're lucky enough because you dropped your remote control off your bed and you have to see a commercial, even if they're lucky, the second that commercial comes, you're grabbing your phone and you're tweeting, checking your email, and you're not giving your attention. My friends, this is with all due respect, 99.9% of the people in this room are trying to sell their stuff in places where they're overpaying on effort and money to get somebody's attention, period. And that is why all my friends that spend their time doing Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook, and there's other things, but that's why Uber spends their marketing dollars in those places and they become multi-billion-dollar companies. And that's why my clients who spend it on print, because you're gonna go to page 167 in Vogue and be like, ooh, I want that, which is insanity, doesn't exist. That's why they're like, why are we struggling? Because you're an idiot.